Episode 23. Against my better judgment, I've decided to start recording an episode or two in the middle of the night. A much shorter session than I have done previously. You may have noticed I have a new companion here. After a little bit of testing, I found that this one is a lot less annoying than the other two companions that I previously had following me around. I did go ahead and go to another world to buy this thing. It was a lot cheaper in Lamia. As expected, the more populated worlds have things on sale for much cheaper. It was a bit of a steal actually compared to the market board prices in this world. I think I'll be fine with this following me around for probably most of the game. I had a little bit of a plan for what I want to do in this very short session. If I could get a chocobo, that would be great. So what we'll do is go ahead and complete the current quest we're on, and get the flame seals that come as a reward. It's actually a little bit strange the way that works. You get these flame seals for turning in the quest, which is, of course, meant to give you a way to get the chocobo. But you only get these flame seals after turning in the quest away from wherever your main city is. And if we didn't sit around watching the cutscene, that would have been the fastest way to get to Vesper Bay back in the day. As things are now, I think these tickets should handle everything. For the main quest, anyway. But we're not actually gonna do that quest, I was just curious. I'm actually not planning on doing much story stuff this time around. I'm really just here for the chocobo. But we won't pass up an opportunity to talk to these two. Following the calamity, each nation's armed forces underwent large-scale restructuring centered upon its grand company. In Gridania, the Order of the Twin Adder absorbed both the Wood Whalers and the God's Quiver, while the Luminsons enacted a complete merger of the Maelstrom and the Knights of the Barracuda. Ul'dah is the odd nation out, having made no notable changes to its armed forces. As before and in the spirit of the Sultanate, each entity retains a certain degree of independence. I guess what he's talking about are some changes between 1.0 and 2.0, my guess. Let me see if I have this right. You're an adventurer, who is a scion, and a storm. Golly, how do you keep track of everything? It must be fun pairing up with lots of different people, though. Me? I'm always with Papa Limo. Come to think of it, why am I always with Papalymo? Why wouldn't you want to be? Well, maybe he gets annoying. Let's see. Yeah, people have moved around here, I think. Let's talk to them. I would tell one of me brothers came through not long ago. Looks like I just missed him, though. I ain't seen either one of them since the calamity. Didn't even know if they were still alive. But after running into folk who swore they knew me time and again, I reckon they had to be out there somewhere. I've been traveling and peddling in the hopes of finding me brother. I'd find me brothers ever since. If you see a fellow what looks like me, let him know Brennan's looking for him, would you? I didn't actually know that, but I guess, there are 3 of this guy. There are 3 brothers, 1 for each city, to bring you in the opening cutscene. Would have thought they just used the same guy in each cutscene, but I guess for some reason it's different for each city. What are you two talking about? We will continue to focus our efforts on investigating the primals. The Amalja are not the only tribe that has succeeded in summoning its deity. Fate shall be thy guide. When our purposes become one, once again shall our paths lead us here. Our city of learning is now naught but shadows. Ere the light of dawn breaketh, we shall follow whither the sand blows. You didn't have to stand just to talk to me, but thanks. Vivian? Have we met somewhere before? You must be quite the accomplished adventurer to be welcomed into these halls. Me? No one's ever expected much of me. And so far I've done a fine job of living down to their expectations. What's going on? I've been chatting with Persevanes, and we both swear there was another member of our crew. We still ain't figured out a way to prove who he was, but just you wait and see. It won't be long before everybody sees us for the heroes we is. Is this some kind of group from 1.0 or something? A merchant here. I didn't actually expect that. I hear you pledged yourself to a grand company. Me? I don't think I could do it. I'd never feel like one of them, no matter what the recruiters say. I'm not sure I grasp the purpose of these remembrance ceremonies. Whether you remember or rewrite the past, what does it matter? It isn't as though you can repeat it. Our present-day enemies ought to serve as sufficient motivation, don't you think? The only lesson I believe we should take from the calamity is that far greater threats can and will appear. Not really anything to mend. I'd normally make sure to collect all the orchestrion roles on my main character, even if I never actually play them. I won't have to worry so much about it here, though. The incident with the traitors still weighs heavily on everyone's minds. The Flame General's most of all. And although he cannot be expected to know what evil lurks in the heart of every man under his command, the revelation is nevertheless a devastating blow to his authority. Even so, it warrants saying that you should not let this tragedy color your opinion of the man. In all my years working with the Flame General, I've never had reason to doubt his capacity to lead. Welcome back, Komor. Lady Minfilia awaits you within. Welcome back. It seems you wasted no time putting your skills to work. How do I know? Why, the recruitment officer called to regale me with the tale of your heroics. The pride in his voice was palpable. We Scions are truly fortunate to have you with us, Komor. Now, when we last spoke, I said that I wanted you to meet some friends, did I not? Well, I neglected to mention that you had already met. Tataru, please show them in. This way, sirs. Thanks again for getting us out of that mess. We owe you our lives. But I don't think we've properly introduced ourselves. I'm Biggs. And I'm... God's man, spit it out, will you? Wedge, at your service. I'm pleased to say that Biggs and Wedge will be staying with us for a while. Magitech-driven contraptions, such as airships, grow ever more vital to the city-states of Eorzea. As a neutral party, it was judged that we Scions should serve as the keepers of this technology. Of course, for this, we needed the knowledge of experts. And so we requested the assistance of Garland Ironworks, who very kindly sent us 2 of their finest engineers. Our happy family continues to grow. On behalf of the Scions, I bid you welcome to the Waking Sands. Like every soul here, I love Eorzea, and I count myself blessed to have been given the chance to stand with you all, and fight for the future of the realm. Never have I known such fulfillment, such happiness. It's not our plan to continue, but I guess we will pick up the main quest.
Now, having set aside the formalities, we have a favor to ask of you. Urianger, have the documents arrived from the students of Baldessian?
Aye, my lady. They arrived but recently.
We have conducted a study at the behest of the Order of the Twin Adder. Papalimo, Ida, a synopsis if you would.
Our task was to survey the behavior of the Sylphs, a beast tribe indigenous to the Twelveswood.
Oh, how to describe them. They look like gisselcreens, floating ones, that worship the primal Ramu.
Ahem. Though technically a beast tribe, Sylphs are blessed with a comparatively personable demeanor, conducive to peaceful communication.
Offering us an invaluable opportunity to learn what the beast tribes know of the primals.
While Ramu's existence is well documented, the Sylphs do not, or perhaps cannot, summon the primal any longer, insofar as can be ascertained. Until such time as we know, it would be unwise to assume that the threat posed by the primal has passed.
Which leaves Gridania with the added worry of not knowing what they should be worrying about.
In that regard, they are hardly alone. What we can say with absolute certainty is that Gridania has its hands full fending off Garuda, who, I need hardly remind you, is among the most savage and terrible of all known primals.
In short, it is essential that we approach the Sylphs in as diplomatic a manner as possible. Words and actions can be misconstrued. The only sure way to communicate our intentions is the echo. Winning the Sylph's favor may well bring us a step closer to mitigating the threat of the primals. Will you help us? I am grateful.
Lovely. Well, as much as I'd like to help, I'm afraid I would be of little use to anyone in Gridania. A veritable babe in the woods. Ida and Papalimo, however, should be able to see the forest for the trees. Is that not so, Minfilia?
Indeed. You are willing?
Leave it to me.
Us, Ida, us!
Your mission is to make contact with the Sylphs, with the ultimate goal of finding a peaceful resolution to the threat posed by Ramuh. Be fairly warned, the Sylphs are a unique people to say the least, and you may find yourself bewildered by their customs at first. Yet know that Ida and Papalimo will be on hand to support all your endeavors. That's very nice and all, but with that out of the way, we can actually move on to what I actually had planned. We'll say that Ida and Papalimo are setting things up for us, and will give us a call when they're ready. In the meantime, we'll be killing time. There's really no point in recording this part, but it'll go by quickly, I hope. Lucky me. That's why I always go for the 1, 2, 3. Unless it's not available. And let's see what we've won, if anything. Well, you always win something. As long as you come back, you'll get back your deposit on MGP for your ticket. That's the consolation prize. But no, we got nothing. Part 2 of my plan for recording in the dead of the night was to finish up the class quests. At least up to my current level. currently around level 20 in the main story quest, but we're actually able to complete up to level 30 in the beginner class quest, the classes that you get before the jobs, or whatever the proper terminology is. Class quests end at level 30, but the strange thing about Final Fantasy XIV is that the quests that were around now is what allows you to unlock jobs after level 30, which is to say, completing this level 20 quest in the main story unlocks job quests beyond level 30. I'm not sure why it's set up that way. There doesn't even really seem to be a lore reason why completing that quest unlocks jobs, but we'll just go ahead and ready ourselves for that. Gomoy, you're safe. I feared you had fallen victim to the Mage Slayer. Have you not heard of the recent spate of gruesome killings taking place within Ul'dah? Each case involves at least one dead thaumaturge, and every corpse is found bloody, battered, and utterly drained of etheric energy. Ill tidings aside, I'm glad to see you alive and glowing with vitality. It is time for you to delve into the final chapter of the Yawning Abyss. Kokoboha, our second youngest sibling, will read to you from The Dread of Perplexity. Wahaha. Greetings, Komoy. Are you once more prepared to peruse the pages of power and peril? Then let us begin. There's that alliteration again. The dread of perplexity. Ah, how magnificent the daunting power we wield. Flames pursue, ice transfixes, and lightning dances into the ranks of our enemies. But what terror descends when, from all sides, those ranks close? Flames are smothered, ice crushed, and lightning grounded. Know you this threat, and wear you the multitudinous foe. Is the point of this passage readily apparent? It would be most problematic, for example, should you meet this malefic mage slayer and he, or she, proves to be multiple murderers. What a thaumaturge needs is a thickest thrall, courageous companion, to accompany her in cases where collective cronies are expected. Now, as for your trial, Kokoboha, pray allow me to suggest a practical course for Komori's training. The town is buzzing with the news of yet more slaughtered thaumaturges, their mutilated bodies found fouling the waters of Nofika's wells. I would have Komori aid me in hunting down the criminal while the trail is yet fresh. Komori may have tolerated your interruption of her trial the last time, Busi, but you are hardly the hardy henchman she needs to clear such a hazardous hurdle. Your concerns are understandable, brother. If it would allay your fears, I can introduce Komori to a valiant warrior who recently entered my employ. You have secured the services of a stalwart swordsman. Then that would, indeed, be in line with learning the lesson of the day. Perhaps. Come now, Komori. Let us be about our business before Kokoboha has a change of heart. I'll be waiting for you in Nofika's wells. What was his emphasis? Was that Kokobusi? Ah, no, because Wells is outside the city. I'd forgotten to pick up my chocobo before we go there. I'll have to go all the way back to Lanosia. Ah, right. I've never been here. I mean, I probably walked in and out through this area before, but I feel like I probably already, or always use the Ethernet to teleport right outside the gates. So I've never walked in this tiny strip of land here, and didn't know this NPC existed. The Zephyr Gate. Want a bird issued, you say? Then I'll need to see your Storm Chocobo issuance. Yes, everything appears to be in order. A moment, please. I'll be right back with your chocobo. It's puny. And here he is. The fellow has been in high spirits the past few bells. He must have sensed that his master was coming. Now then, to make it official, you'll want to give your noble steed a name. Quoi? What? It grew. I guess that's just something they couldn't really get around in the game design. Didn't really think too hard about what I was going to name the chocobo. I probably should have planned that ahead of time. I wonder what kind of name Komori would choose. Well, I couldn't come up with anything good within a few minutes, so I decided to just go with this for now. And then I guess the chocobo walks off to shrink back down. I dare say he likes his name. Here's your very own chocobo whistle. Simply blow into it and your feathered friend will come bounding to your side. But do forgive him if he doesn't respond when summoned in crowded city areas or monster-infested lairs. Chocobos are stout-hearted creatures, but they have their limits. And lastly, I present you with your Chocobo Rider's license, as is required by law. And that concludes all the formalities. I wish you and your Chocobo long years of fulfilling companionship. Your Chocobo can be ridden, and it's also a companion, as in it can fight alongside you. Well, we don't have any options to customize it quite yet. The color you can only change, I believe, when you have a house or apartment to stable your Chocobo at. I said I would make this a quick session, because it's the middle of the night, but for whatever reason I just feel like going the slow way everywhere, taking airships rather than teleporting, and walking around the city. I'm sure I'll get tired of it eventually. Chocobos can be dismounted. It really is tiny. While we're here, or while we have our Chocobo, I suppose we can at least see about looking at what the companion combat is like. Not acquired. Is that a feature you unlock separately? I guess you only unlock the mount at first. Let's see. No, yeah. Yeah, I guess the Chocobo is only for mounting purposes at first, and later you get the companion features. probably would have been faster to just kill them rather than run away. Well, the quest is down there. If I were on my main character playing through the first time, I probably would have just jumped straight down. But I think I'll try to find the actual intended human way down. Probably if you follow the path, it'll be along there. Ah, here we are. A weird corner of the world, probably very rarely visited. Maybe it was more busy back in the original release of 2.0. I wonder if anybody came down here with any frequency. Ah, and this would have been another way down from the other side. The Lalafell promised me a sack full of gil to do what I do best. And that's keeping all the attention on me. Huh. Ah, Komoi, so good of you to come. My Rogadan friend here is the warrior I mentioned. Now there's no time to waste. Why don't you head into the stream and examine the bodies of the slain mages? I would go with you, but my delicate stomach, I fear I might contaminate the scene. Remember, you're looking for anything that might help us track down this killer. You'll find the bloodied corpses over in the running stream east of here. Examine the remains and see what clues you can find. I feel like I handle a lot more corpses in A Realm Reborn than I remember. Can we? No, can't go under there, even as a Lalafell. Did you uncover anything incriminating? Hee. The blood is yet slick to the touch. the slaughter must have been recent indeed. The villain may yet lurk nearby. Return to the creek where the bodies lay and linger for a time. I dare say your aura, saturated as it is with enticing etheric energy, will lure the Mage Slayer into the open. Have courage, Komori. Our burly companion stands at the ready to leap to your aid. Back to the stream, Komori. Wait by the place where you found the bodies. Your alluring aura may serve to draw out this insatiable Mage Slayer. Well, this better be worth getting our ankles wet. I guess it brought some friends. Do we take these out first, or...? Doesn't feel like the AoE is doing that much damage. Oh, wow. Maybe I need to DPS down the big one first, actually. Yeah, that guy's in trouble. Let's see. Put the big bugger to sleep. I see. This is why it's important to read what your companions are actually saying. I'm not very good at that in the middle of battle. I'm actually surprised they have you use sleep in the middle of a battle. I thought it was kind of only useful for running away from something. You can probably just DPS down the big guy without having to put him to sleep. But I think we'll do it the way that the game intends for us to do it, just to see what it's like. That sleep lasts a long time. And I guess we're done here. It's interesting that they put you in a kind of support role for a Black Mage quest. Only you might expect that, I don't know, maybe from a healer or something. They give you the tank guy to kind of stand in as a teammate taking on the front lines, but I guess the Black Mage is sort of a backlines support offense kind of thing. It seems your partnership with our hired blade went splendidly. It is unfortunate, though, that one of the imps was able to flutter away. Oh, did you not notice? You wouldn't wish to report to Kokoboha with your trial but half finished, would you? Of course not. I'm afraid, however, that the Rogadin has already collected his recompense and departed for the nearest alehouse. What to do, what to do. Surely a thaumaturge of your caliber can handle a single imp, yes? If I'm not mistaken, it fled into that little cave over there. Hurry now, before it slips away into some hidden nook or cranny. The imp must be hiding inside that little cave. If you hurry, you may catch it before it escapes you entirely. Yeah, we can handle a single imp on our own. We don't need the big guy. This will be easy. Is the imp behind this cart or something? Did you come to help me with the imp? That is not Kokobusi. Well, it is Kokobusi, but a Kokobusi possessed by the void scent that escaped from Wormo's urn. It was feeding on the etheric energy of all those slain thaumaturges. Hee. And you, my dear mana-rich Komoi, were to be next. I have wanted to absorb your delicious power since the moment we met. I'll take that as a compliment, I guess. A pity. This has been such an amusing charade. However did you see through it? I am Kokobusi's brother. How could I not? It is time I destroyed you, Mormo, and put a stop to these sinister killings. As the eldest, I must take responsibility for my family's misadventures. Hee. A coward like you, destroy me? Your opening strike should have pierced my heart. But instead, you aimed for the knife. Fear stays your hand. Fear that slaying me will also slay your sibling. Oh. Hee. Poor spineless thaumaturge. I shall, however, leave you with a pleasant thought. It was Kokobusi's fervent wish to amass this power. He craved the arcane strength to stand beside his brothers as an equal. What a shame that he must now stand against you. Hee. It pains me to admit, but there is some truth to that creature's words. I surrendered the perfect opportunity to end this. I've betrayed my own teachings. Return to the ossuary and report the completion of your trial, Komoi. I will remain here for a time and gather my thoughts. Well, I'm tired of walking everywhere. I'll teleport now. Ah, Komori. Kokobuki has advised me of your adventures. It seems the Mage Slayer slithered away, but your stint as a swordsman was nonetheless successful. Consider this chapter complete. Your time with our tome of teachings is at an end. Well, to be absolutely accurate, there is an addendum with additional advice, but Kokobuki considers it extracurricular. Even I dare not delve into those diabolical depths. I do not yet deign to die, you understand. I have yet to inform my brothers of Kokobusi's misfortune. I have yet to reconcile the maelstrom within my own mind. The most fundamental lesson of thaumaturgy demanded I slay the creature where it stood. It was the most opportune moment to strike, minimal risk, and victory all but assured. How many more will suffer from my hesitation and my cowardice? It will likely be some time, however, before Mormo resurfaces to kill again. Now that we have uncovered the deception, the Void Scent will seek a new hunting ground, where Kokobusi's face is unknown. And though the respite may be brief, I must devote this time to considering my next course of action. Pray leave me to my musings, Komori. Actually, it might not be too bad. Pretty good. We'll say that, we need to hide our face now that Kokobusi's out to kill us. I think while we wait for the heat to die down from our recent homicide attempt, we'll take a break over here.